Friday Fuse?
This Friday.
Cool. Send me the link, or is it
Virtual. You just have to go and sign up.
Yeah, awesome. It is great to see you, and holy cow, it feels amazing to not be doing this out of my basement. So let's just go there for a second, and to have on the suit, right? So let's start this with gratitude and success stories. So my first gratitude, I'll kick it off here, is definitely to have our office back open. Even if with the limited hours, we're open. We're loving the conversations that are going on, and we really missed all of you. So that's my gratitude, really, is getting this piece going, getting it back, running again, and having a chance to kind of get back to a normal, right? So what's some other gratitude that we have out there?
Okay, well, the gym's open back up, and I'm a big gym rat, so I'm pretty stoked on that. I've been going at 4:30 pretty much every morning, like so I can get there before everybody else does.
Awesome. That's fantastic, Ross. Good, good, good. What's another one? That's great. What's another one? Gratitude success stories. Gratitude success stories.
Who's on there?
Do we get to call on everyone?
Yeah. We're echoing. Sound like we're in a cave.
Right?
So I'm grateful that I have to stay 6 feet away from Patrick. Keep going.
Oh, I almost.
Keep going. Right there, right there. So
I'm like,
yeah, that's good.
Awesome. All right, one more. Gratitude success. Let's start this meeting out with some energy.
There was an awesome class yesterday. Who was on that class? Raise your hand. You guys got to put your videos on. Ross was there. Who else? Electra was there. Where's your video, guys?
William was there as well.
William was there.
Yeah.
That was a great class. And
It was really informative.
Yeah. Huge shout out to Henry and Alex for putting that on. It was awesome. We need to repeat that one.
I think we should do it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we have gratitude with Henry, right? In the class yesterday. Gratitude, the gym's back open. What's another one? One more. Who wants to wrap it up here with the gratitude?
All right, I'll give it a whirl.
There we go, Jenny.
Oh, yes, and my puppy says hi, too. I'm happy that May is over with.
Right.
Hopefully everything can really get back to normal in everybody's world.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, you know what's been really exciting to see is to see the business popping. And I know, Deb, we've talked a lot about this, especially this week, on what you have all been doing out there, and it's producing incredible results. And it's not the norm, by the way, which I think is fantastic, right?
Who does normal?
Who does normal? I don't know. It's like complacency. It's like, so let's jump in and let's start talking about upcoming listings. So I know we have some listings going on, right? We've been talking. So I know you all have listings that are coming up. Who wants to start us off? I like the effort here.
Carol.
There you go, Carol.
Hi. I sound like I'm echoing.
It is, and I don't know why. We're echoing too.
Oh, echo.
Feels like an old Star Trek movie, doesn't it? A little bit.
Should I just keep talking?
I think we're still echoing. Amber, do we have a way of doing the echo on here? Really not doing the echo?
Yeah, go back to your basement.
Go back to the basement. I know. Well, guys, I guess I'm going back home.
Can you hear?
Can you hear me?
That's better.
Carol, do we got you?
I think.
Well, it's better on you guys' end.
We'll figure it out.
We'll get to this. We will make it happen. There's a will, there's a way, right, Debbie Connor?
Yep. Try that.
All right, Carol, how about now?
Is it better?
Nope.
Nothing yet. Can't tell if she's talking.
Carol.
Yes.
I don't know why that's doing that.
Okay, well, here's what we'll do. With upcoming listings, buyer needs, price reductions, price improvements, put those into the chat just in case that the echo, and I know we're all working on it, but we're not sure what's going on. So we will be like a 1985 Star Trek series that was on with good old Captain Kirk, and just keep this rolling. So when we start looking at where the business is at today,
Get somebody else to talk other than Carol.
get someone else. Hey, Seamus, would you take yourself off mic real quick, off mute real quick, and let's test if it's echoing over there too.
I don't know. Do you guys hear an echo now?
Nope.
No,
It's
okay.
Carol's. She's on.
Okay.
There's got to be something on Carol's end. She might have two screens open.
Okay, cool. All right, so we know that at least we addressed that piece. So who else has an upcoming listing? Carol, would you please put that in the chat? And then that way we can make sure that we, spread the word on your listing coming up.
Sure.
Awesome. All right, so who else has an upcoming listing? Let's go there here.
I have one.
Lysandra, awesome.
Am I echoing? I feel like I'm okay.
You're good.
Okay. New listing, hopefully live today. It's in Morrison, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1907 square feet. Lot size is almost 2 acres. It's 1.82. Great views, kind of a steep driveway, but we should go live hopefully today, later today.
Awesome. Congratulations. What price point?
Oh yeah, that's probably helpful. 540, let's say. 539,999. But
539,999. That's awesome. All right. Congratulations on that. That's your first listing, isn't it?
Oh, good Lord. Is that me? It is. Yes, we were going to go live in March, but because of, COVID, we had to wait a little bit. So now we're finally going live.
Awesome. And I'm still echoing. All right, who else has an upcoming listing?
Hey, Amber, why don't you take it off the light?
Upcoming listing, since you're not echoing on that side. Price improvements. Buyer needs.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I have a buyer need for up to 2.4 million in Cherry Hills. Needs to be close to Kent School. We'll look some houses on Friday. If you have anything, let me know.
Okay, so 2.5 Cherry Hills, correct?
2.4.
2.4. Awesome.
Yeah, Cherry. Yeah.
on that.
We're gonna keep this interesting right now.
Yeah, because I can hear you coming out of here.
Can you say something?
Can you guys hear us? This is my mask. What do we think? Yes, no, yes.
Okay, I'm not hearing any
Yes, we've got you, Amber.
on that one.
We can hear you.
Yes.
When do you speak?
Speaking.
Hear you.
Did you turn the volume down in here? Oh, I know why, because I turned the volume down on my laptop.
It sounds a lot
2
better.
minutes, we're having fun.
Yeah, it sounds a lot better.
So who knows how to play charades? Right.
I love technology.
Awesome. We're gonna have some fun today, huh?
Try now.
All right, how are we doing? If someone say something, Renee, say something for us, please.
Renee, say something for us, please.
Hey, there you go. Awesome.
Yay.
We're in business. All right. Let's have some fun. All right, so do we have any other buyer needs? Buyer needs. Cool. All right, let's unpack what's going on. What are you guys seeing out there in the market right now? Wind. We got a wind tunnel. What are we seeing in the market? There we go.
Still some multiple offers. We just lost a house for a buyer and we were way over asking, and multiple offers.
Wow, Robin. So what price point were you seeing that in?
It was right under 400.
Awesome. 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 What else are we seeing? Thank you for that. So multiple offers around 400.
Same thing. I had a listing I had to put back on the market, and we got 15,000 over list, and we didn't get that 4 weeks ago when we first listed, so it's getting even more up.
Awesome. So the market's live, right? I mean, really what we're talking about here is it's still moving out there. That's great, Cindy. Thank you. What's another one?
I have a listing in Broomfield at the 450 mark, and I've had one showing on it. And the word out on the street, at least we went and looked at new builds this last weekend, and the new build communities in northern Colorado were like, we put 7 under contract this week. We had 3 under contract. We went to 4 different new build communities. They were all doing business. And the word was, I think that unless it's a deal, you know, the perceived deal, then I don't know if the buyers, especially this weekend with all the weird, you know, with riots and crazy going on, I don't know. My last best comp in the complex is 450 and we're at 450. And I don't know. I'd love some feedback on that, you know?
Sure. Absolutely. What do you think, gang? What's some feedback around that?
Yeah, that's what I got too. Crickets.
Yeah.
Just not much. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because we're talking about Broomfield at the 450 mark. Robin, you just mentioned that 400 mark. Where was that specifically, Robin, location-wise?
That was in Westminster.
Westminster. Okay. So in Westminster, there's multiple offers at the 400 range. In Broomfield,
Well, it's under 400. It's like
Under-
375.
Got it. Okay. Okay. So a little bit of price difference between the two, right?
Yeah, but I think it just depends on the house, you know, and what they're looking at. It's not just the price range. If you say it's priced right, should be at 450, and but you're not getting any showings, so maybe not. I don't know.
No, 15-day on the market, 3 doors down, 475, same square footage, and it went under contract Friday. and I got crickets this weekend. So my whole point is it could just be the market of the moment, just right now with what's going on, you know, in Denver, but I could be very wrong as well. I don't know.
You'll probably find out this weekend.
Yeah.
So Renee, you have incredible experience, and you have experience in market shifts as well as coaching top agents, right, all the way across. What does your conversation look like with your seller? Let's just go there for a second. Like how are you having these conversations with your client around this?
The conversation has been be patient. And when we went to the new builds and we said, we have a contingency, every new build salesperson was chasing after her. We'll take the contingency, we'll make it a July 31st closing or sooner. You will absolutely sell it in June. We're not worried about it. So that made her feel better. And she's, texting me going, should I be worried? And I'm going, no, you should not be worried. Here's what the data says. And what has actually happened is under contract, in 15 days, and we're 5 days at this point. At that point, we were 2 days. So it's a data conversation coupled with this is unprecedented times. So I don't know, I don't know. And it's also this, I'll be real honest with you. It is the benefit of this community, the communities that you're in Facebook groups where you can put it out, and like what we're doing right now, I'm in a little bubble of my own sellers and my own buyers and my own team, and I get to go to 25 different people plus a Facebook group of 200 and something and be able to say, hey guys, help me, what is the feel out there? Do you have buyers that are out in the market? Are they looking or are they on the fence? My buyer has a 2.87 30-year fixed interest rate. What? Yeah. And so, okay. So I don't know what's going on, but that's the conversation and the benefit of being in a big brokerage, a big Keller Williams community, and then kind of popping in on other, agent type of communities on Facebook. I got to be real clear there, and maybe Cindy can speak to this. We were just talking about it, as a matter of fact, that it seems like there's not a lot of agents doing business right now, that it's an unfair share for a few, not a spread out as it has been in the past. You guys know that I've been on my ACU, that there's 46,000 realtors, active realtors in the state of Colorado. And if you look at the different boards of who's doing business, there's like 15 that are doing business, and then there's a big jump, and it's not huge numbers, anymore. But maybe Patrick, you can speak to that. You probably know more than.
Well, no, and I think this is the great thing about this, and we've talked a lot about this, haven't we?
Yeah.
And I think that the great thing about this is really diving in and understanding what the opportunity that's in front of you. There was something that Renee said there, and it sparked me immediately, and it was the conversation around data, right? Renee didn't talk about emotion at all. In fact, she talked about, and correct me if I'm wrong, because now I'm speaking for you, Renee, but she talked about pulling the emotion out and replacing emotion with data. Now, here's what's exciting about that, and I think this is an absolute opportunity for all of us, whether it's buyers, sellers, maybe it's someone who's looking in the next 90 days, 180 days. But when we take the emotion out, is there a lot of emotion going on right now out there? Holy goodness. Is there a lot of negativity going on out there right now? Yeah. Do our clients, does our database want us to become uber emotional?
don't think so.
No. No. Do they want to know that we're there in their corner? Do they want to know that they can rely on us and they can call us? They're getting emotion from everywhere else. So we have an awesome opportunity to be able to switch the conversation a little bit. I'm not saying don't be empathetic. I'm not saying that at all. And I'm not saying ignore what's going on, because there's a lot going on. We have a choice to dive into the negativity or not. And that's a personal choice. What I can absolutely promise you, and Renee, I think this ties into that conversation, right? What I can promise you is there's a large percentage of real estate agents across the state of Colorado that are stuck in emotion and they're paralyzed by it.
Mm.
So I think that's what's going on. You know, last year we talked about this one. This is a kind of a fun number. Did you know that there's in the Denver area here, and I may be off a little bit, there's approximately 23,000 licensees in the Denver metropolitan area.
That's the right number.
Did you know that 38% haven't sold a home in 12 months?
That is also the right number.
That's almost 40%, gang, that haven't sold a home in 12 months. What do you think's going on with that 38% right now? What do you think's going on with that 38%? Hey, I don't have to talk to myself in my basement. I got Debbie Connor right here with me now. So what do you think?
I mean, they're probably the ones in the food lines and, you know, on unemployment, and they're frozen in their inactions, and they're not moving, they're not being purposeful with anything.
Yeah, it's true.
With anything.
With anything, yeah. Right? So, you know, really look at this when you're, I mean, I'll tell you what, the news doesn't even go on at my house right now. And that's just a personal choice. Now, do I go, of course I'm on Facebook looking at those pieces, but I limit myself every single day on how much time I'm on there. And I do that because my intention is to control what goes in. Because what goes in is going to come back out, right? My mindset, how I'm going to approach the day. You know, how much longer does it take to put the train back on the tracks once it's been derailed? So here's your opportunity, and Renee, you were talking about it, and I think it's awesome. There is business going on. There's incredible business going on. There's some awesome series that are coming up that are designed specifically to launch into that, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But know that these are opportunities that are in front of us. This is an awesome, awesome time to reach out to those who we know in different states and find out what's going on in their markets. Build referral relationships. Bold just ended. Does it mean when Bold ends that we stop doing everything? No. I still got my bracelet on, right? On purpose. Because it's right here. Before it goes here, it's got to go here, and then the action happens. So, you know, and before I get into that tangent, any thoughts on that, Deb? Well, I got you.
No, I think you're right. It's the be, do, achieve, right? You have to be before, and you got to do before you can achieve something.
Yeah.
You can't jump to achieve. I was listening to The Road Less Stupid on the drive in this morning, and he was talking about what it takes to run a marathon, or what it takes to be a rock star at something. And he goes, there's no marathon runner that ever just decided to get a brand new pair of shoes, put them on, take off and run a marathon and win it or survive it. It was training, and a half a mile at a time, 15 miles, 20 miles. You can't jump in. You can't become a millionaire overnight. You can't work 4 hours a week and achieve anything worthwhile. It's those overnight successes that you don't see all the work that went in ahead of time. Yeah. Right? You don't see the blood, sweat, and the tears and the hours spent. They just look all of a sudden successful. So, and his point was, are you doing the blood, the sweat, and the tears, and putting the hours in the right activities to get to that end result?
Well, you just said something there that I think I'd like to just dive into a little bit, the right activities. Because if we're just putting in the time and doing activity after activity, yet it may not be income producing. It may not be the right activities. So let's talk about that. What are the right activities? And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not just saying lead generation, right? Like, let's dive into this a little bit here. And I want to hear from you, and because I think that's perfect, really, because that's the right activity is the vehicle for the business and your life.
Gosh, right now, just have a conversation with somebody. I would have lunch at Corner Bakery yesterday, and they remembered me coming in when they didn't have their dining room open, and they remembered my first name.
Ooh.
And you know why? It's not because I went there 2-3 times a week to order a lunch. It's because I had conversations with them, and I said, "How are you?" And they looked up and they're like, "What? Oh, you're talking to me?" And having that human interaction and just talking, yeah, even through a mask, and it's huge.
So what could be some, gang, what could be some of the right activities? What are some of the right activities? If you were to, you really to dive in and define that, what do you think that is? So jump in, take yourself off mute, and let's engage.
Hey Patrick, it's Mark Mays.
Hey, buddy.
I would echo Renee's comment about new builds. I see them chasing hard, and it's a great opportunity where we don't have a lot of inventory to find some things to sell. I'm having a lot of success there with new builds. And the other thing is, and I have such a simple plan, it's almost too simple. I keep coming back to just having conversations with people that aren't directed at real estate, because COVID is on everybody's mind. And so if you just open up the conversation about how's your family, how are things going, have you been impacted? Those are the types of things that people really want to talk about. And it literally leads right into real estate. They know what you do for a living. And I wish I had a really big, giant action plan I could share with you, but I just talk to people every day with that as being my framework.
Love it, Mark.
Yep.
Love it. Thank you.
With the new builds, are you just rolling up on site and just talking to somebody in a trailer and saying, "Hey, this is what I want to do"?
Ross, it's a good question. I usually make a phone call to the builder rep, and so it's a little more structured in terms of going out there, and I usually have the buyer dictate where they want to go. But it's always part of my conversation because of the inventory situation. And, they may not want a new build. That's okay. I can deal with that. But I always make it part of the conversation. I've had some good success with it. I got to be honest.
Awesome. What's another one?
Back on Mark, and then Mark, you're on deck, and you're going to piggyback on what I say, and then I'll piggyback on. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. The other thing with these new builds, because this is where the buyers are going for some reason, maybe even without us as representatives for them, is like Mark said, call the sales rep. Hey, can I come in? What are your hours? Most of them have great hours, pretty normal hours. Right now, you do walk in there with a mask. They have buyers. Getting into relationship with those sales people and asking them, what are you guys seeing? What's going on? Sell me your community. This is how we get to know the market of the moment as well. I was just looking in my email. I have LGI, Lennar, 2 DR Hortons emails that are just, on a blast. Taylor Morrison. So all of these new home builders are building, they are attracting the buyers, and that's a great activity, as Patrick was asking about. Use this time to learn, what's going on in the market. And you sound so knowledgeable, when I was at that new build, or there's these resales as well, and they're not, and this is the competition. And you walk in there and they're like, I'm going to give you that referral. This buyer doesn't want to buy ours, but they need representation, and that happens often in the new build communities.
Love it.
Go,
So
Mark.
we're talking now about relationships, right?
I can't top Renee. Sorry.
All right. What's another right activity? I love the new build conversation. What's another one, gang? What are you seeing out there? What's another right activity?
I just got off the bold pivot, and I think just getting my head straight and positive, because I have to start the day. I've been doing it every day with, with an affirmation and with a bold law that I can really think about how am I going to use this for my day and for my life right now. And it's been flowing into my conversations with people and helping them as well as me. So I think it's really important to get our head in the right place to help people right now, at least for me.
Well, and Robin, you just mentioned something that I think is awesome, and I commend you on it. Not just an affirmation. You're picking up bold law and you're doing it daily, right? So you start your day with an affirmation of bold law, some type of motivation to gain clarity to then take the day, right? Which I think is awesome. And that is a right activity. Like that's fantastic. Fantastic. What's another one, gang? That was great, Robin.
Well, I'm going to talk about social media. You've got to be even more careful that you're not getting caught up into the crazy polarization insanity that's going on social media. I think it's even more important to stay positive, encouraging, uplifting, and talking about real estate, because we've got people who think the sky is falling, and we could be out there saying, I've got buyers, I've got listings, who needs to do business, because they're going to notice that, guys. They're going to see that you are the one who's staying positive and putting your head down and working.
So then, Cindy, if we take that and Holly, I'll jump to you in just a minute. Cindy, when we take that and we look at it as a daily activity, how are you addressing social media as a daily activity? Or as an activity?
Well, I just make sure that every day I'm posting something about real estate. Okay. I'm making sure that and you guys, I'm not on social media like every minute of the day. Like several times a day, I go through my notifications, I respond, I keep those relationships. Right now, especially, I'm focusing on my high school classmates. So I've got people in a list, and the way Facebook is now, I'm interacting with a bunch of agents across the country. Well, that doesn't help my business other than the referral business. So don't get me wrong, it helps that. And yet I'm focusing on making sure I'm interacting very, very specifically with my local people who aren't in real estate, so that is a focus and an activity that I do every day.
Awesome.
Because they're not going to see me until I engage with them. That's what's happening with Facebook is, I think I'm out there like crazy, and yet they're not seeing me unless I engage with them.
Perfect. Awesome, Cindy. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Holly, sorry about interrupting you.
It's okay now if I can remember my train of thought. I think one of the things that this whole situation trained us to do that we talk about all the time is being comfortable, being uncomfortable. Because we haven't been comfortable since February. Really kind of the end of February, this started happening into March. I mean, as this just started going along into March, and we were so far out of our comfort zone. And, I have to give a shout out to our leadership, and not just, our local leadership has been incredible, and our company leadership has been incredible, because it was like, okay, next, what do we do now? It wasn't stop, go sit in a hole, don't binge watch. Everybody spent probably a week or so binge watching something, because it was just like, I don't even know what to do. But, or you ended up quarantined, or you ended up, something. So I think we all just learned to flex and to shift. And in this instance, it wasn't a shift. It wasn't just a shift in the market. It was a shift in how we had to do business completely. And every time the government shut us down a different way, we were figuring out a way to do it anyway. And to me, that was the important thing. And I really feel like coming out of this, even though it just seems like things just keep piling on with things happening right now, I feel like we are situated. I don't panic. I just go, okay, well, we'll figure that out too. You know, it just gives you a confidence that I can't explain.
I love that, Holly. I really do. And you mentioned something that I want to really highlight. Comfort through uncomfort. Write that guy down. Comfort through uncomfort. Here's why it's important. How many of us have felt uncomfortable? I'm putting up both hands and both legs, right? Like, how many of us being real? Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
Guess what? When you're uncomfortable, you're in a growth mode. You're growing. It's why it doesn't feel good. I got, you know, Haven at home, right? That poor little dude is not very comfortable right now because he's growing. Yeah, he's 14 months, and I don't know, the kid's running around. He's kicking soccer balls already, which, yes. And he's teething. He's growing. His body is being stretched. Do you think he's comfortable? No. Trust me. He's not. Yet when we take something like that, it's so real, so in front of us, so part of life. When we feel that on the business side, sometimes we go like this and we contract. Yep. What would our world look like if we went like this and embraced? So if you embrace the uncomfort versus contracting and paralyzing against it, what does your world look like? Oh my goodness. As Renee was talking about, you're one of the few that are out there right now, out there lead generating, doing things, changing lives, right? Building your business up. Does it always feel comfortable? No, not at all. And I smile because I'm kind of a little bit off anyways, but I smile because it's fun. Like, holy cow, we're growing, guys. What skill did you acquire over the last 75, 80 days, 120 days? I don't even know. The month of April was like 500 days. So, like, you know, what skill did you acquire? How did your business grow? How did you become uncomfortable?
We learned our way to clean out of a house.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Exactly. The point is, and we're in the month of June. I think so. I think we are too. I don't know what year we're in, but we're in the month of June. And you have 6 more months to do incredible things. Like incredible things to change lives. And these guys need our help more than ever. And I think that's where I love that. I love the comfort, being comfort through uncomfort. That is so powerful. Awesome. What's another one? What is another right activity? Because that was spot on. And then all of these, I've been making notes as I try not to walk in front of it. What's another one that we could talk about? What's another right activity? Trains move and jump in. Water's warm. Who's next? Another right activity. What's something that is the right activity for you, your business? Maybe it's your life right now, right? Do I get to call on people? Because I love doing that. Erica Roberg, what's a right activity?
Well, for me, it's just been reaching out to friends, past clients, family, and not even so much to ask for referrals, but just to find out how they're doing and to offer support, especially right now in these volatile times. I have friends who are off the grid one way or the other on both ends, and just being able to touch base from a point of neutrality and say, I'm here, I care. If you need someone to talk to, I'm here. And I actually got a referral by doing that last week. So, and I didn't even ask for it. So
take me through that. And that's awesome. Congratulations. Take us through that. How did the conversation go?
I just reached out to my friend and told her that I saw that she was hurting. And I offered just, some brief conversation. I'm in ministry, so I offered prayer. And then she asked me about my business, and I told her that I'd moved over to Keller Williams, and she was excited to hear that, and then said, oh, hey, by the way, so-and-so said they were selling a house, and let me get you in touch with them. So, I mean, it was just that organic and fluid, and it was no work. It was just all conversation.
That's beautiful. And the thing that's amazing about that is you literally went from care to close, right?
Right.
And I didn't feel like you were selling.
And I didn't even have to. I didn't have to sell anything.
So you were able to reach out, tell someone who is hurting that you cared, offer up prayer, offer up assistance, support, right? Roll your sleeves up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And in return, law of reciprocity kicked in.
Right.
How amazing is that?
Right.
That is a right activity. That's awesome, Erica. Thank you. What's another one?
Thanks for asking.
Brooksy, what's another right activity? You may have to go off on mute at the bottom of your screen if you're talking. All right, Danielle Thompson, what's a right activity? And hello, Danielle. It's nice to see that smile.
Just kind of reiterating. It's just.
We can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Okay. So we're hearing on the other side. That's us.
It's just really keeping in contact with your sphere and following up with your sphere and really putting yourself out there at a minute's notice. And I found that is really what people are appreciating, is that Johnny on the spot, whatever their needs are. Homes are going fast, so you have to be there when they need you. And that's kind of what I've found that works for me quite a bit.
Awesome. Thank you. Scott, what's a right activity?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. Just in line with that, making calls, checking in on people, seeing what their needs are, seeing, there's just those care calls, and then, people who were thinking of doing something this spring that, for various reasons with COVID and everything have put things on hold, just checking to see how things are going for them and letting them know what's going on, and that interest rates are still low, that, the houses are still moving, letting them know it's the market's out there if they're interested in doing something, but, it's fine to wait too. Just keeping them posted on the market, really.
Awesome. Love that.
I'll go ahead and jump in, but I'm not turning on my camera.
Awesome.
Not this morning anyway. No, I'm going to agree with Danielle and Erica and Scott. A good story, actually. Have reached out to a very good friend of mine who has on social media posted she was going through some rough times. And so I've reached out to her a couple times, just checking on her. And actually last night, out of the blue, she called me, messaged first asking if she could ask me a real estate question. And we talked for quite a while, and she is finally ready to buy a house. Wanted to fix a little bit on her credit, she thought. But I got her in touch with my lender this morning. My lender said she's already working with her. So we'll see how that one goes.
Awesome. Well done.
But I think, just reaching out and seeing how people are going is really a common theme here. And people appreciate that in all the turmoil that's going on right now.
Can I say something else?
Yes, please.
Back in February, when I had a listing in Highlands Ranch, we had a huge open house, met these folks that lived in Boston, and I happened to share the app with them. I was sharing the app with everybody. And I had their information, but for some reason I could never get in touch with them. And they said, they called me the other day and said they had lost my information, but they'd been looking at the app and they saw me on the app. And so they were able to reach out to me again. And it turns out they thought they had to sell their house in Boston to move here, But yesterday I was on the phone call or the training about credit and mortgages, and we found out, you know, you can get 3% down on a conventional. That's what Henry said. So I told him that, and they said, what? We can do that? Well, we don't have to sell our house. We'd have our down payment. And so it's just like all this information that's available to us is really helping us to help our people. Yeah.
You know what's awesome about what you just said, which I love. You were spreading, you know, you're spreading the word on the app, and this was in February. And in February, we had no idea what was coming, did we? Like, I'll tell you, I'll be honest, I had no idea, right? Most of us didn't. I would say all of us almost. Yet you find they're looking at the app now. So could that be an activity that we could do? Hey, while you're at home, check out this app that I'm working on. It's really cool. Boom, 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 right? The other thing that I thought was awesome, Robin, is that you asked questions and you gave information. If you wouldn't have given the information about a 3% conventional, they still would have thought they had to sell their home, and they could have missed opportunities in the market. So bravo, that's awesome.
Plus they asked me to find an agent for them in Boston to help them sell their house.
Oh, there we go.
Yes,
yeah, there we go. That's what I like to hear. Pretty amazing, right? Families still have to move. Things are still going on. Businesses are still up and running. There's still economic opportunities that are out there. And there's some that are coming up for the few that are ready for them, right? So are we reaching out to our investors? Are we saying, hey guys, there could be something coming up. Are you in a position or are you not? Have your real estate needs changed in 2020? You'd be amazed on how many people say, no, they haven't, they've just been delayed. Or no, they haven't, I need to find something. Or I need to sell this home because I need to get to X, right? They're in Boston, they need to come here. And now, Robin, you have a referral partner in Boston. How cool is that? Because the Boston market moves, right? So if we look at what markets are moving now across the country, could there be referral opportunities with agents that are productive in those markets? I know between Renee and Cindy, you know half a KW in the continental US, right? So could there be opportunities there?
I say we make friends with realtors that are in New York City, and in some of these large cities that people don't want to be in the city center, and they're figuring out they can work from home. More people are going to do that. And I think I don't think everybody will shift out of working from an office. And I think there will be a good group that will. And I think there's people that are kind of done with living that close and, you know, dealing with the pandemic, and done with living in a city center where there's, you know, riots and things like that going on, and they're looking to not be in the middle of the chaos.
Right. So could we use the technology that we have in front of us, the apps, Kelly, right, going through Command, finding agents who are productive agents in New York City? If that's an opportunity we want to explore, then how are we taking that first step to do that? You know, maybe it's even someone who, you know, I have friends kind of all over the place, and I've had friends in New York who I've been talking to, friends in South Florida I've been talking to, in Oregon, in the Northwest, right? Because different areas have different saturations on how they've approached the last 75, 80 days. How they're approaching things right now. And it's this, what the opportunity, what I think is really cool, is that the opportunity to have 1 degree of separation created even playing grounds for everyone. Are we looking at it that way? You know, I mean, that's where I'm going with that, is I think there's so much opportunity that's out there for us right now. It's up to us to recognize that there is opportunity, that we can flip that rock over. What rock can you flip over this month that could completely change the trajectory of the last 90 days. What do you think, Deb?
There were some huge nuggets in that class yesterday. We had 18 people on that class. And if you missed it, you missed a lot. But she was dropping all kinds of nuggets and touches back to your database and how to help people build credit and different ways to do things. And just some information that you could share out with your clients.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just asking Henry if she was going to get that posted out. So we'll get it out as soon as we receive it.
I'm glad you mentioned that because there's some big ones coming up. And I know one of them here, Renee, I love having you on the team meeting here and in our office, and I, greatly appreciate you. We have a kind of a big class coming up, big series coming up, don't we? And I know that there's some. Tell us about that a little bit, and why is it your passion? Why do, for productive agents that are out there right now doing 3 units or higher, why do they need to get into this class? Why?
Yeah, so we are going to present in our office the MREA series. We are going to go through the MREA book in its entirety. It is not necessarily a new agent course. So like Patrick just said, we really want, unless there is a extenuating circumstance, agents to be in the course that have at least 3 transactions under their belt, sides, cumulative. So in your whole career, at least 3. And here's the thing. MREA is made up of 4 models, and we are going to dive in deep into those 4 models. I came from Coldwell Banker 14 years ago and was with Coldwell Banker for 11 years. And I was stuck. I had hit a ceiling and I could not figure a way out of breaking through that ceiling. The first year, myself and my team came to Keller. I read this book, I studied the book, I did what they told us to do, and doubled what we had done the year prior. And ever since that year, 2006, I've been teaching this pretty much every year.
That's incredible.
Sorry. Do you want me to stop? Sorry.
No. Keep going.
And so that is why it's a passion. I believe the associates that are in our executive's office deserve their unfair share. And this is not only a series, a book club that we're going through. There is high level homework. And so I would rather have 10 people in the class that are very serious about adding to their productivity at a high level and not more than okay, being held accountable. I'm a coach at heart, and a trainer, is everything. And I do it. And so it's not just, I teach because I can't do it. I teach because I love it, and we do it. And I want to be able to give back. We did this at the Denver Tech Center. We had 30 associates that were allowed to be in there. It's an office. At that time, it was about 350 associates. And I would like 10%, 20. We're going to cap it. You have to be in that productivity level, or you're showing me your business plan and you're gonna work it to be in the class. So it's a high level, advanced accountability, advanced class, rapid pace. So that's what we're gonna do.
I love that.
Can I just
now,
add?
Is this, several of us have friends that are outside of KW. Is this class that's open to them as well if they're in production?
Yeah, if they're in production, it's a great recruiting tool. I'll help you to add to your downline, and there you go. So
awesome. Love that. And first of all, thank you for doing this, Renee. I know you teach this class literally all over the world, so thank you. Greatly appreciate it. Guys, let's show up, and let's show up in force. Support Renee. Watch her run. Because when Renee's teaching, I can tell you it is, you want everyone in the room at that point. So thank you. Another class coming up that yours truly is going to be running is called Beyond COVID. So the reason that that's the title is a big conversation that I've had with several of our top agents, some of the top teams, our ALC, has been, what do we do after this? What specific activities and how do we approach this new market? And so we're going to be diving into 3 different categories with this Beyond COVID series, and it's open to everyone. So I'd love to see everyone on this. We're going to dive into personal, right? Because if we're not right here, it's very challenging for us to be able to help out others out here. So we're going to hit personal first. After that, we're going to hit business. So then we're going to really dive into the business pieces and what specific activities can you do that are going to create results. And not just that one time. It's going to be creating results that compound over the next 90 days. And then to follow it up at the very end, we're going to talk about models and systems. And we're going to talk about leverage and ways you can do this that can save you time, right? We talk a lot about lead generation. A huge conversation that we've been having is, how do you want the next 30 days to look? And what is our efficiency level around the lead generation? What is lead generation? What different legs of lead generation are we diving into? So we're really going to tie into those models and systems, and that'll be on Wednesdays, I think, right? Wednesdays, 1 to 2 o'clock. So after team meeting, grab lunch and then come back on the call, and we're going to nail it. So next Wednesday, we're going to start, and then we'll dive into personal first and go from there. It's going to be heavy engagement. The intention behind this is that you walk away after this 3-part series with an absolute business plan of what the next 30, 60, 90 days are going to look like, so you take market share and you keep doing what you're doing and you keep taking advantage of some of the opportunities that are out there. Because this is a limited time conversation. The opportunities, if we don't grab them, are going to go away, or they're going to change, or someone else is going to grab them. So this is your opportunity. So, and Deb, I know we're starting Ignites kicking off again, right?
Yep, that schedule will be out later this afternoon, so keep an eye out for that.
Awesome. So reach out to us, know that we're here. I know we're just about out of time here today. What are some ahas that you had out of the meeting today? Because I got some, it looks like some chicken scratch up here, and some great notes. We went over new builds, we went into Ford, family, occupation, recreation, dreams in relation to today's market. We went into relationships, database, which Erica, great job on the Care to Close. We went into mindset, affirmations on a daily basis that could even be bold laws, right, Robin? And we went into social media. What is your message? So what are some of your ahas that you had today? Everyone all at once. Should I do the Jeopardy music? All right, ahas, let's go. What's an aha takeaway? Mark, take it away for us.
How about staying calm?
What's that?
Staying calm.
I said, how about staying calm?
Ooh, love that. Staying calm. Love it. What's another one?
I think there's a direct correlation even with the people that are on this call right now and those that either desire or are in production. When you're staying engaged and you're part of something bigger, you're not making up your own stuff. And I heard something from GK on Friday, and he said, where the human mind has confusion, there are questions and negativity. And it's our job, like Erica said, to reach out and make these, you know, care calls and be able to fill in the gap with the confusion. I think sometimes when we're silent, that also creates a question, and people fill it in with their own answers. And so not being polarizing is probably not good, but not being silent is probably not good either. So I love what everybody was saying about those care calls.
Love it, love it. So with that, we're going to wrap up the meeting here for today. Thank you, Renee. Thank you, everyone, for being on this call. Lean in, right? Now's the time to lean in. It's not tomorrow, it's right now. There you go, Robin. Now's the time to lean in. So do that. Lean in, participate in these incredible opportunities that are coming up, because they're going to make a difference in your world. That's why. So lean in, embrace uncomfort. When you're uncomfort, you're growing. And everyone, like literally all of us on this call today, you're growing, right? We've grown as individuals, as agents, as a market center, we've grown. And so I love the fact that I'm in business with each of you. I know our leadership team loves the fact, you know, that the doors are back open again. So come in, say hi, lean into us. If you're in coaching, lean into your coach. Ask some questions. Think about some fierce questions that you can ask that could dramatically change the trajectory of your world this month. And with that, you all have an awesome, awesome day. All right, and we'll see you later. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.